everyone. Today is March 1st. It's the official first day after our RSVPs. So we have a pretty good idea of who all's attending the wedding, and we thought for those of y'all that are going to come, we might make a series of some videos that will help you navigate your trip planning, what to do, activities while you're there, everything pretty much from A to Z. So we planned out about 5 episodes, each covering some different topics of the aspect of traveling to Belize for our wedding. And this is our first episode. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the very beginnings. How do you even get to Belize City, and then what to expect with immigration, customs, what the next leg of the trip looks like once you land in Belize, and then how to get to the island of Ambergris Caye. So Todd is the resident expert in this area, so I'm going to let him do the majority of the talking. So for folks that are coming from, either Miami or Atlanta or Houston or Dallas, what are some things that they need to know about traveling from their home of origin to Belize City and beyond?
Sounds good. Well, to start with, we're going to get you to BZE, which is going to be called Belize City, but it's actually in Ladyville. What to expect? It is approximately 2 hours from Miami, 2.5 hours from Houston, 3 hours from Dallas and Atlanta. When you arrive in BZE, you will get off the plane on the tarmac. You can either exit the plane from the front or the back, so don't worry about getting seats at the back of the plane, because you'll actually be one of the first off into the building. The first thing you will get through is immigration. Belize has just implemented a electronic immigration form that you should fill out and get a QR code before you fly. You'll have the ability to do it in the airport with Wi-Fi, but you will slow yourself down pretty significantly.
And where would they go to get the electronic version?
Just do Google Belize immigration form. We can provide you a link to that. It is not as mobile friendly as it is computer friendly. You can do it on either your phone or computer, but I would recommend you do it at home on a computer, because it is not the most sophisticated electronic format.
And what helped us the last time is we printed it out once you did it. So we had it, a copy of it printed out, and you had the access to it on your phone.
Yeah, certainly you want to screenshot the QR code.
Right.
But the first thing you will do is you will get in line for immigration. There are 2 lines. The line on the right is for Belizean citizens, and you will get on the line on the left, which is for international travelers. You will wait to be called. You will submit your form to them, probably answer a couple of questions. An important question that you will need to know is, where are you staying? They will specifically ask you probably for your hotel, and if you don't have that information, you will get further questions. It's not a particularly difficult process, but it may take some time just based on the line. BZE probably gets the majority of its travel between 11 and 1 o'clock from the US and Canada. So the lines could be a little longer during that time. But it usually moves pretty quickly. I would say that the longest that we've stayed in immigration line is probably about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Once you pass the immigration, you will get a 30-day visa stamp in your passport. So you are good to go for 30 days if you want. From there, if you've checked any luggage, then the luggage carousel is immediately after the immigration process. Pick up your bags. If you want to go to the duty-free store, you can. But after you get your luggage, then you go through customs. And customs is more for Belizean citizens, because there is an import tax on everything that is brought in that stays in Belize. So you will want to send your luggage through customs. Obviously say that you are bringing everything back out with you. You're not bringing anything in to stay, and you should not be charged a duty. If for some reason you do want to bring something in and stay, they will charge you on the spot based on what they think the value of the product is. But for the most part, you should be okay.
For example, like one of the trips we brought in our scuba gear, or snorkeling gear rather. So we had fins, flippers, masks, things like that. And they said, are you bringing this in like on the off chance that you might be selling it or giving it to, a local there? And we said, no, like this is all coming back with us. This is just to aid us in our trip and it'll be returning. And they were fine with that and they just let you go through.
Yeah. This probably is going to add another maybe 10 to 15 minutes to the process. From there, you exit customs and you basically enter the front of the airport. At this point, you either leave the airport to get a cab ride into Belize City for the ferry to get to the island, or you go check yourself into the Tropic or Maya Air pedal hopper flight going back through the airport. So that's probably about it for what to expect when you land in Belize City. And
I would say altogether would give yourself about an hour to an hour and a half to do all of that processing. And like Todd said, if you're going on to get a flight to the island, as opposed to getting the ferry to the island, then you'll want to go up to the counter to check in for your next flight. So that brings us to like, how do I get to the island? So
well, how we get to the island, you have two options, a ferry or a plane ride. Let's start with a plane ride. It is a little more expensive, but it is a much quicker process. The flight time between BZE and the San Pedro airport is about 15 minutes. From checking in, you have to check in approximately 30 minutes before your flight time because you will need to check even your carry-on bag with this. You have to check that because it's a 14-seat Cessna plane. So anything in the plane itself is just a handbag. So you wanted to do that 30 minutes before your flight, and then once you're in the airport, you're back through. Your boarding time is actually approximately 5 minutes. It's very quick. At the front of the counter, once you check in, get your paper ticket, check your bag, you will then go through airport screening. If you are familiar, if you have TSA pre-check, of course that does not work in other countries. So you will have to remove your laptop, you will have to take off your shoes most likely, go through a basic screening, and then you're in the airport. The airport itself is pretty small. It's about 10 gates. It has a lot of seating and, quite frankly, a lot of tourist shops.
Tourist shops, restaurants.
Plenty of places to get beer and some basic food. Both the Tropic and Maya Air are at the far end of the terminal. So you'll walk in after screening and basically make a right and just walk to the end of the terminal.
I would say though, if you're meeting other people, you would need your entire party together before you're able to go through that security.
If you're on the same ticket.
Yeah, if you're on
absolutely.
the same ticket. If you have people coming from different places and you are meeting up at the BZE airport, and the plan is everybody on that ticket is going to get on the same pedal hopper plane together, you would need your entire party together before you go on through security and then into the airport.
Correct. Buying tickets from Maya and Tropic Air, you can do it online. I recommend probably to build in an hour and a half to 2 hours from when you land to when your pedal hopper will take off. That's just to be on the safer side. You may be quicker, but there's, like we said, plenty of places to relax in the airport before you get on your flight. The other option is to take a ferry. And the ferry is a little bit of a two-step process because you will need to leave the airport after customs, get a cab ride. The cab ride is a set $25 fare, and they will take you approximately 25 to 30 minutes into Belize City to the ferry port in downtown. Once you get to the ferry terminal, you can check in. Obviously, you can buy your tickets beforehand or buy tickets on the dock. And the ferry itself is approximately 90 minutes. It's an hour and a half. It will leave Belize City. You will stop over in the island of Caye. That takes about an hour to get there. You'll be on the dock there for probably 10 minutes. And then it's another 20 minutes from Caye to get to the San Pedro ferry terminal. Those are your two options. Between Mayan and Tropic Air, the prices are pretty similar. We've flown both. Both are absolutely fine and safe. We probably prefer Tropic Air. It's slightly more electronic oriented and professional. Both of them, you will want to be close to the gate because the boarding process does happen pretty quickly. There is a chance if you get through customs and immigration quickly that they may bump you up on an earlier flight if there's room. So certainly when you check in after customs, go ahead and ask, can I get bumped up if you can, if not, which flight you would be on. And then, once you get into the terminal itself, check in with the people at the departure desk to make sure they know, one, you're there, and they might adjust your schedule as well. When you're getting on the planes, there's no assigned seats. It is boarded based on weight. So heavier people will be in the front of the plane, lighter people will be in the back. You might get a chance to sit in the cockpit. Sometimes you get lucky and can do that, but it is a 15-minute very scenic ride. The ferry itself, they are comfortable. They seat approximately probably 60 to 75 people. They're basically large pontoon boats. There is no facilities with regard to bathroom or a bar or anything like that. If you want water or anything, buy it in the terminal and bring it on. But it's definitely a comfortable ride and also very scenic.
So once they're in San Pedro, either via ferry or via pedal hopper, what are some of the options of being able to get to your hotel? What do they need to know about that?
So we'll start with the flights. Mayan Air and Tropic Air have separate terminals to where they pull into. You'll grab your luggage once you depart the plane. They will hand it to you, and at that point you have a couple of options. Some of the hotels you may be staying at might arrange for a taxi to pick you up. It's probably of the places that we recommend people stay in, it's a 5 to 10 minute taxi ride. It's not, if you have light luggage, you can certainly walk it. We typically walk to and from the airport to the places that we're staying. It's not going to be roller bag friendly. A backpack is probably easier if you were going to try and do the walking route. But certainly the resorts itself, some of them have their own pickup vans, or the taxis themselves. There'd be probably plenty of taxis waiting for you if you want to pick it up. Ask what the fare is. It's probably going to be 10 to 15 Belizean dollars to get from the airport to your hotel. From the ferry terminal actually just moved, and it's a little bit south of town. So it's not going to be in a place where you would want to walk from the ferry to your hotels. You want to take a cab. There is a chance that if you pre-book your golf cart, some of the golf cart rental places can arrange to meet you and have a golf cart there. To be honest, it's probably easier just to take a cab, and then you can worry about unloading your baggage and get your golf cart later. But I would say from the new ferry terminal to the hotels, it's probably closer to a 10 to 15 minute cab ride.
If you have questions about travel, you can definitely text us. I think we all have each other's numbers. Text us, email us. Our joint wedding email address is trt.pbc@gmail.com. You can leave a comment. We'll put this on YouTube. You can leave comments in the comment section and we'll check those as well. But certainly if you have any questions about the travel there, let us know, and we'll be happy to answer them or find answers if we can. And yeah, so our next episode we will tape will be all about accommodations, your hotels, where you're staying, kind of a layout of the island itself, and what to know about renting a cart and kind of transportation once you're on the island. So we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.